the guys' trip was underway, and we were like a car full of giddy little schoolgirls. Our first destination fit the bill for the start of the man trip. Chicken, Alaska. Aside from the giant chicken, you know you're in the right place when you roll up and a Unimog is already gracing the parking lot. It requires you to go talk to whoever owns it to get the lowdown on the awesomeness that is a Unimog. The owners are from Germany, and were extremely hospitable to our drool-oozing grins.
Oh, beautiful.
We shipped them over from Germany to Halifax.
Oh, yeah.
And now we go Budo Bay, and then we want to go all the Kuwaiti countries, Colombia and Kuwait.
Yeah. Cool. High lift jack.
See how much we have in common with this guys?
Yeah, the high lift jack.
It's a electric head.
The inside was typical German engineering, extremely well thought out, comfortable, and everything had its place. The missus showed us her pride and joy of the vehicle, a micro clothes washing machine. Seeing that stirred us to ask the gentleman what his favorite part of the vehicle was.
Favorite
Yeah?
part of this truck.
My favorite, look, this is my favorite part.
Lisbon! It's the little things. Love it. Nice.
They were a fascinating couple to speak with. Even though we had to navigate a language barrier, we shared a bond for exploring and seeing the world by vehicle.
Yeah.
Check it all.
In Chicken, you have a choice of 3 destinations: the Chicken Mercantile Emporium, the Chicken Creek Saloon, or the Chicken Creek Cafe. Opting for the bar, we stepped in. First thing you notice is all the hats on the ceiling, stapled up there by the passerby and local patron. It's obviously an off-the-wall destination for travelers and wanderers. Upon closer inspection, the ceiling is also lined with torn underwear, and questions formed. The jukebox is broken, but the atmosphere is light and lively. At the bar, the guys ordered their drinks. Ryan goes out on a limb and orders a chicken fart. A layered, not mixed drink made of Kahlua, Bailey's Irish Cream, and Crown Royal. In that order, and ideally with just a float of Crown. Ty and the gang slip over to the gift shop to see what they could scrounge up. Soon they were consumed by eclectic t-shirts and trinkets.
There's one right here from Deer Lodge, Montana. I think these are prison guard.
Outside, Jeff was learning to shift gears in the Unimog.
And Jeff's driving the Unimog.
Is he so happy right now?
He's had a really big smile on his face.
As Jeff commanded the Unimog toward the open road, a younger man, perplexed and pacing, caught our attention.
So tell me what happened.
Yeah, I went into my tent last night, and so I shot it.
Yeah? Did you punch it first?
I did wrestle with it, but
No, wait, you did wrestle with the bear.
I did wrestle with it. Yeah, it wasn't worth it. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Well, you won, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm better off now than he is, that's for sure.
Because what happened? I didn't know he's driving this Unimog, and he's all smiles, so I was getting him, and the Unimog pulls around, and behind him out of the woods comes this little Ford something or other, barreling out, and this blonde guy, hair all over, gets out of his truck, and this smell follows him, and I knew automatically because the story.
Dead?
Yeah, dead bear.
What
Back to the
story?
truck. Okay, so let me tell you.
I've been in here shopping.
Okay, so what did you just do? And he's like, well, last night I walk in my tent, and there's a young bear standing up in my tent, huffing at me. So he cracks the bear, breaks its jaw.
With his fist?
Yeah, he's an MMA fighter. There's not like the best record in bear bang.
He bit me in the leg. He didn't break the skin though.
Get out of town.
He just gnarls this young bear, pop, and then gets a 40. He has 2 shots in the 40, misses in the first time.
and I missed him the first shot. And I hit him the second shot, but he was right on top of me. Like as soon as the second shot, he was
Boom.
yeah.
Did the bear come after him, or he go like, "Come here, bear!" Whack.
I don't know. I don't know. It looked like he had a rough day.
Can we have one of your bear claws when you get back?
Yeah. Okay.
It was an evening none of us will ever forget. And as I thought the evening was coming to a close, the others were up to no good.
Okay, so inside this bar here in Chicken, Alaska, they have all these hats and underwear plastered all over the walls, stapled up. And the underwear are blown out of this little small, like, floor cannon. It's really the only way to describe it. The panty cannon. The panty cannon. Well, we decided that we're going to blow up one of Clay's pairs of ex officio underwear.
The underwear gods, I'm sure, will be pleased with a noble sacrifice of ex officio give and goes.
A little brown in there.
So that's a cannon. Look, you got your barrel. You got where your fuse goes here, and you're gonna pour black powder down the top, and then.
These are Toby's.
They may have come out of your bag.
Nope.
These are Toby's.
Clay, I'm sorry.
You got any hand sanitizer?
I will wash my hands.
Give and go, Clay. Give and go.
That's it.
She's going. I'll stand over here.
The panty cannon took a little bit of work and was a letdown when it didn't go off. Good thing the bear wrestler and his buddy were there to help. This here panty cannon is still occupied by a half-diffused wad of gunpowder. Watching these two stumble through its reload was a little nerve-wracking. I was struggling to remember any training on how to remove an impaled screwdriver from a skull.
Oh, there you go. That was it.
We stepped back and watched as two mildly intoxicated gentlemen rambled and loaded.
I told you should have pled guilty. I mean, you should have pled.
Insane or what?
No, I was afraid for my life. 100%.
But now it's off my record at least though. It's sponged.
No, it's not. You can't get in Canada.
Eventually, the short-statured panty cannon had its proper charge. And it was go time.
Yeah, it's still there. Dan is still there.
Well, there he goes, wearing them proud. Nice. Those are give and gone.
Yeah, let him hang proud.
Let them hang. Tickle people's foreheads as they walk by.
This night went out with a bang. The next morning we had some chores to do. The Land Cruiser steer tires were in need of a rotation. A creative solution was required to keep the front end off the ground to allow the removal of the steer tires, all while lifting and removing the back trailer tires to swap with. Ryan set to putting in some much-needed grease. Ty was at the river working on other greasy things, and Scott and I saw an opportunity to capitalize on a shared passion. Scott and I have panned and panned and panned and never found anything notable. I have a vial at home like this, and it's got 3 little specks on the bottom of it, and I'm so proud of them. There's this German guy over here that has found
Just put you to shame.
more gold in 3 hours than I have found and seen in my entire life. He was hard at work, his hands gnarled from years of labor.
Slipped in the river. I'm the only one who do that because I know how to find gold. Now, if you go the other side, you can do the same way all the way down on the park out on the road. Plenty gold.
Huh.
People, they don't know. You see the holes somebody for a fix over there, the holes over there, the tree for a tell.
Did you understand a word he was saying?
A few. Something about black sand and a little red in it. Came from Germany, he speaks German and Greek. Really, actually, he speaks really fast English, but you can't understand any of it.
It's so mumbled.
Yeah.
I was lost quickly.
Yeah, he's a character for sure.
This is nothing really nothing.
A character that really knew what he was doing. He was a gold mine within himself. And was a pretty good teacher despite the language barrier. Shovel after shovel, we experienced the best panning of our lives. 7, 8, 9 flecks of gold. There's officially more gold in this one quick shovel of a pan than I have found in all of Montana on like 4 or 5 days of work. In one pan, right here. That's really fun. I mean, that goes to say that I don't know where I'm looking, but it's really cool to find a guy who knows what he's doing and who's willing to teach you and show you something. That's cool. In a state of gold fever, we eventually were able to pry ourselves from the river to make our way across the border into Canada. But time was no longer on our side.
I'm pushing her to the max and she's not liking me for it, but we're still pushing 70% of what the vehicle can do. It's comfortable. It's just, we can't get there in time. We're not gonna make it.
1 mile and 3 minutes late.
We were forced to spend the night near the border. All told, it wasn't a bad thing. The campsite was awesome. The guys set up camp, and as the sun dipped on the horizon, they looked out over the Yukon territory. With camp set up, Scott and I pored over the maps and took our plans to the team. Tomorrow, we would enter Canada.
Coldness takes them all away, holding hands as they all pray.
Oh yeah, we'll get it.
With the
We'll
border
get it.
behind us, we
Good
pushed
job.
on for 65 miles to the world-famous Dawson City, Yukon. Arriving at the Yukon River, our first ferry crossing is required to reach Dawson City.
It's my first ferry crossing ever. It's a little bit unnerving, but it's really cool.
What do you think?
Cool. Really cool.
Minutes later, the town of Dawson rolled beneath our wheels. Dawson City was created in the early days of the Klondike Gold Rush, when prospector Joe Ledoux and shopkeeper Arthur Harper decided to make a profit from the influx of prospectors to the Klondike. But for now, we push straight through town in pursuit of the reason this town exists in the first place. Gold was discovered here in 1896 and became known as the Klondike Gold Rush. When news reached Seattle and San Francisco the following year, it triggered a stampede of an estimated 100,000 would-be prospectors. Out of the 1/3 that actually made it, only some struck it rich. Most struck out. The Klondike Gold Rush lasted just 3 years. Later, dredging became profitable as the new technology allowed gold-bearing ground to be worked in mass quantities. Jeff and Ryan attended to a funny squeak as Ty fired up some lunch. Toby and Scott ventured into the bush to locate a dredge. I soon followed. I'm out here to find those guys. They're up on the dredge somewhere. Pretty cool piece of history. Just laying there rotting. Went too far? The dredge was powered by electricity. Cables were attached to logs buried in the hillsides and controlled by a winching system to maneuver the dredge within the pond. The floating dredges scooped gold-bearing gravel from the front bucket line and sent it through a series of trommels and sluice boxes where the gold was trapped before depositing the waste behind the dredge, forming rows of gravel behind it as it moved along. So you got balance across the log?
Yeah, she's shaky.
And then across the pipe.
Across the pipe. The pipe's a little more stable than the log you're on.
This dredge had been doomed from fire. That didn't keep us from checking it out. Soon everyone caught up with us, and good life decisions were hard to come by.
That one again. Okay. It just got cooler.
Coming up.
Don't use the right one.
This is so cool.
I know. It's so sweet.
And sketch.
I wouldn't venture out much past the pulley.
Look at the amount of weight that this is still all holding these big, heavy beams out here.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at this. This is tons and tons of weight.
Yeah.
On the bottom of where you're standing is all burnt out. So yeah, hold on to the burnt board. That'll help you. Well, it's better than nothing.
So one big concern is this big pipe that's hanging on by a little thread.
That's not a concern.
That could fall on you and crush you.
The reason it's not a concern is because... Let's go back upstairs and find another way.
Okay.
There's got to be another way. I found
Just trying to leave had its moments.
FS 700 frog.
Got it?
Toby, you set your course.
Alligators, alligators, alligators. You know Lonesome Dove where the kid gets bit by the water moccasins in the face?
Yeah, it's my favorite part.
Okay.
It was starting to get cold out.
There it is. Oh, that has got to stop.
Outside. 16 miles down the road.
Ooh, you smell good.
Oh, I know. It's straight up iron. Ooh. I saw a lot of leeches in there.
Yeah, I know.
You might check your my province, myself.
Back in Dawson, piano music wooed us into the historic downtown hotel. The piano player was a classically trained gentleman living on the river. Across the bar, a drink was being served that caught our eye. The sour toe started in 1973 when riverboat captain Dick Stevenson found a severed toe preserved in a jar.
As far as my eyes and senses can tell, that is 100% real toe.
The rules are simple. Put the toe in a glass of Yukon Jack and throw it back. You can drink it fast, you can drink it slow. But the lips have got to touch the toe. The officiating captain of the night reads the creed and drops the toe. The rest is up to you.
Get in there! Yeah!
Hey, recognition that.
You'd then tip your captain with a shot. Ours had had plenty that night, and could barely record our names in the book. The bar was hopping. These guys from Scotland really wanted to be on camera, and Toby executes a pro-level photobomb. Two nights in a row we had not been let down. This portion of the trip was off to quite the start. The following morning, more planning went into effect.
To Tombstone. If it's day 28, we have until day 44 to get all of our trip done at the max. Head down to Dawson, head out of Dawson here, and then we go up somewhere, maybe up towards Eagle River tonight, or somewhere in this stretch that we camp.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be. It's maybe, yeah.
Supposedly.
We wanted to push north on the Dempster Highway to reach the Arctic Ocean. So we restocked our supplies and made way.
And the question was asked, what's down this road? What's down this road? And this road might have more in store for us already than we thought it would. Scotty's got cameras out, that's no good.
Things were about to get interesting.
You're on camera now.
Oh, hey guys.
So I just found out that the very toe that Scott, Clay, and I had in our drinks is actually from the U.S. from a lawnmower accident. I got a little history from one of the locals. She was telling me the first toe was swallowed by a woman who was drunk, fell backwards and swallowed the toe. Second toe got chewed up and eaten by a drunk miner, and now they are on the third toe, which is from the U.S. and chopped off in the lawnmower. It's delicious. Thank you, U.S.
I thought there was some lawn clippings in there.
Yeah, there's a little grain. Little grain.